What time was the earthquake yesterday? You know I keep track of this for some damn reason. Everything just fell apart? I don't know. I don't know. This is what I'm dealing with, and this is why I'm not exactly writing, and I'm just whatever that is. Because then once it started happening, I was like, oh my god. Like, oh my god. Like, it was like, this isn't even the climax scene. What is happening? we just had another earthquake. I've been pretty silent this whole vlog because I haven't been feeling it. I've been in a funk pretty much since camp started. Not a great way to start camp. So I wasn't talking the first couple days. I was just trying to do work. And then yesterday, July 4th, we had an earthquake at like 4 in the morning. That might have actually been this morning. So yesterday the earthquake was at like 10:30. That was a pretty strong one. And people were like, oh, we're gonna get the aftershocks. Didn't really feel anything the rest of the day. And then this morning, 4 in the morning, had another one. It was smaller, so that could have been an aftershock. And then just like a little bit ago, I don't even know what time it is. It is 8:50, so not even an hour ago, we had another, what I would call an earthquake. It was bigger, lasted longer than the first one. Like stuff was, like everything is going like this, woo, and the whole house, the whole foundation of this apartment complex felt like it was swaying even after it had stopped. So that's been fun. And then just now we had a little aftershock, so that made me go. It was a small one though, so that's good. That's okay. That's fine. I don't know, maybe that was why I was being weird the first couple days of camp, is that it felt weird because earthquakes were going to be coming. I don't know. The weirdness definitely amped up over the last couple days. Yeah, anyway, just wanted to update that and say that's what I'm dealing with, so no thank you. And it gives me a headache too. I'm so sensitive to these things, and I feel like I shouldn't be, but oh, it's shaking again. I was like, my head hurts. No wonder, because things are still swaying and quaking. I get vertigo. I get like motion sickness so easily. So even just sitting here having things swaying just a tiny bit, I'm like, no wonder I feel bad. I've been playing a game on my phone for like the last 4 hours because I didn't feel like working. I'm watching Natalia Lee's most recent like plan with me journal video for Camp Nano. I've been watching that while playing this game, and yeah, my head definitely hurts. At least I got some work done earlier this morning, and while I was outlining, it was making me realize I needed to finalize a little bit of the world building that has been getting stronger as I've been finishing up these revisions for my regular whip, but like I needed to actually make those details more concrete. Like I could write the novella the way I'm writing the whip and just, you know, fill in those details later. But I kind of want this novella to be as strong as possible on the first draft, ideally. Ideally. I started toying around with Notion.so, which is I hesitate to even call it like a wiki builder. It does so much within it, but you can create these pages, and within the pages are blocks, and the blocks can be whatever you want. They can be text, they can be pictures, they can be calendars or tables or just whatever you need them to be. The only thing you can't do in it right now is what I would like to do is like a timeline. They don't have like I guess kind of like a Gantt line where you have a set amount of time, so you're mostly looking at something going horizontal, and like the amount of time is probably marked up here, but you see one project going for a certain amount of time, the next project going for a certain amount of time, so you kind of see when certain projects are supposed to be due. I wanted to make a timeline, but an actual timeline for my book. And Gantt lines work for me for projects, for tasks and things like that. That's fine, but not for timelines when I see those written out. That doesn't work for me. They don't have anything like that, and I'm trying to figure out if there is a way that I can just make my own type of timeline. And I think I could make it work and just have it kind of going vertical, the text, a picture, and then go down again, text, picture. Like I think I could make it work that way, potentially. We'll see. But that timeline wasn't as important. It was just as I was tootling around with Notion to figure things out. And I will say that it has much more capability than the SlimWiki that I was using for my world building. But SlimWiki was just so simple and easy to use. To create a page, add your text, add a picture, link pages, all of that was super simple, easy to understand. The only thing that was like a drawback for me was that you couldn't have two columns. So I couldn't have text with a picture beside it. It would have to be below or on top of it. That was the only drawback, really. So I've been messing around with that and just trying to see what I can get done and nailing down some details that I need for the novella. And then I feel like maybe I'll be able to get started on that. Maybe not this week, but next week. I'm just trying to get back into things. You know, it's been almost 2 months again so this is me trying to get back into a daily writing habit again during earthquakes. Just thought I would update you. So maybe I'll give a wrap up at the end of the weekend. So another one. The heck? That was just an aftershock, thankfully, but I'm like, just letting you know that this is what I'm dealing with, and this is why I'm not exactly writing, and I'm just whatever that is. I'm probably gonna get back to doing some more of my world building today, maybe some of my novella writing by hand, assuming I've gotten all my stuff figured out. Hello everybody, it is Monday, July 8th, and I have stuff to do today, so I've got a couple appointments, but I thought I would update you guys on how my first week of camp went, but I've got to get to my appointments. I'm not running late, I'm on time, I just don't have time for this. So when I get back, I will let you guys know how everything went. Hello everybody, I am back from my appointments and they were pretty good. It was a long 2 hours, but that's okay. Let's see how my camp went. Yesterday, Sunday, I did not write at all. I will admit that right off the bat, okay? Did not write at all. Mostly what I ended up doing was world building when I thought I wasn't going to do that. So I ended up doing, what did I do? Did more of I had this calendar printed out from last summer when I was trying to fix my timeline from shortening it from 3 months to 2 months to 1 month. I was trying to make sure it worked, so I printed out 3 months, wrote down major events and where I was at the story then, which was basically right about here for midterms. And then, so this week, I filled in that whole last week, which is everything that is leading to the climax and the resolution. It all takes place in this last week. That's why I was like, once it gets going from here, like in April and stuff when I was doing the detention scene, I was here and I knew that I was like, it's gonna start and it's not gonna stop. And now, so imagine, this story took place over the course of 3 months, over the summer. I originally shortened it to 2 months, and then when I revised my campus schedule, how the school runs, I changed up their schedule. So that meant taking a look at my story and when it started, and I was like, oh. When I had my story starting, was going to run into some problems. So I was like, I need to readjust this to match up with the school's, like their semester system type thing. Like that was the error I was running into, was that I was like, oh, I changed the school system without thinking about the impact that would have on my outline. So I wasn't sure I was going to be able to get it done all in a month, but from when it starts to when it ends, it's not even a full month. So, but I will tell you that we go into the next month and book 2 starts like 3 days later. This is why I was like, there's no real downtime between book 1 and book 2. Like once this series starts, these books keep going until the end. It's not a series where it's like, oh, a book a year maybe sometimes, and time goes on between the book. No, once it starts, it doesn't stop. So I was like, So I've done that. I did the world building for some of the agency, how the agency works, the teams, the known teams that we interact with, basically their divisions and the hierarchy of the agency, because I think I've like flip-flopped on that as I've written and revised my book. I'm pretty firm on the details now, but that's something I'll have to look out for as I go on my next revision round, is the hierarchy and how I describe these agents, because I keep changing my mind. Yeah, so I did the plot calendar and a little bit more info for the characters, and that was all because I needed to outline my novella. So that got me into the world building for this, and that's what I ended up doing all week. There were 2 days where I wrote for my psychic flip, so that's fine. And then yesterday I did nothing. I started off this camp like right before. I was doing pretty good. I was having a schedule for activities and I was trying to get out during the day at least once, like that was my thing. And then I was like, okay, I'll just, you know, put writing back into this schedule. It shouldn't be a problem. It was a problem. I don't know. Come July 1st, everything just fell apart. I don't know. But I will tell you, finally, the scene that I was working on Saturday that I had basically put off all week. Like Monday, I finished a short scene for Emily, and then I started a little bit of Kane's scene. And this was one that it was hard to write, and it took me a long time. I worked for like 6 hours on Saturday, and it took me a long time to write it. Once we hit the action part, it was difficult, but I was starting to get like antsy as I was going, and I was having to write like a paragraph and then stop and think about where I was going, and then stop and think about where I was going. Because then once it started happening, I was like, oh my god, like it was like, this isn't even the climax scene. What is happening? And I introduced this character that I didn't know how I was going to introduce him. I didn't introduce his name, but I know his name, and there he was. I was like, this is so interesting, because of what I had written later. He was just going to be a mystery figure that no one knew who he was, but I've introduced him now. And I was like, I like a lot of the revelations that happened in this scene. It was so difficult to write. And it was making me antsy, because it was like the action that I was writing and the confrontations that I was writing. Like, what is happening? What is happening? So by the time I finished that, I was like, and then I had to go into Paul's scene, and he's just like, he's doing important stuff. He's doing like mystery solving, researching, but he's not like, I don't know. Emily and Kate are going through hell on their end, and then Paul's over here giving the readers a break, I guess. It's kind of nice to be like, what just happened, to we're having a nice peaceful breakfast. Like, if I'm getting whiplash, I feel like the readers might, so that's something that I will have to watch out for, because I don't want to be like, you know, like, bam, you hit a wall, and then all of a sudden you're like, I guess the tension is over for that scene, but is it too much of a juxtaposition to have that action and all of that happening to then go into a scene that is still important, but like later and fluffier? And I was oof, I don't know. So that's how this ended up going. And my goal for the week was 23 hours, and my actual was 30 hours. So, you know, I'm good there. Like, because of the amount of work I did all week, it was okay for me to take yesterday off. I didn't intend to take yesterday off. I think it was just, I'd had such a hard time writing that scene for Kane. And Paul's is like light and fluffy, and I was like, I could work on it, I could finish it. But like, I just didn't want to. Like, this is not going out the way I planned for camp. But when does it ever Does it ever? I mean, I made my hourly goal last camp. That's all I can pretty much ask of myself at this point, okay, is making my hours. Like, this is why I don't do word count goals. I don't do like scene goals, because I know myself. I know that it's not going to happen. All right, so there was a write-in today with Angela Ann and Jazz Little, but I missed that. That was the exact time during my appointment. I guess I could watch the replay and do some writing sprints on my own. That is why I do like the live write-ins though. It's because even if I miss them, which I usually do, that I can rewatch them. So let me show you what my planner ended up looking like before I call it a day for this camp, okay? Okay, so here's what my monthly looks like. I did end up decorating it, and I have a bunch of little tiny like summary stickers, so I've been using those for the hours. That leaves me with week 1, 23 hours, week 1 actual, 30 hours. I wrote 5,662 words, which is pretty good considering I only wrote for 2 days. And I wrote 13 pages. So that's pretty good for this week. Let me show you the weekly pages. Okay, I did end up putting some washi up here just for decoration. So this is what it looks like. Actually, I really like highlighting for the time blocks and then outlining them. I think I can see it better versus just highlighting it, so I like that. So, novella. I did my notes and my re-outline, and I did not write any chapters. For my revision, I did 2 scenes and half of 1, and then all this that I had planned, didn't happen. So I did a lot of world building, and I filled in the characters, but there's still some characters that I'd like to do more for the profiles, so I will be moving that over. And then like I half did the plot, so that's still something that I would like to work on. But overall, this is kind of what my week looked like, and I am very happy with that. Okay, so that's my planner. That is what my first week of camp ended up looking like. I made my hours. I'm good with my hourly goal, and at this point I don't even mind if I take a week off, if I take a day off. Like, it's okay. It's okay if I have to take a day off, and it's okay if I work on stuff that I wasn't planning on working on. It's okay. I did a lot of world building, so I made a lot of progress that way, and I am excited for the scenes I get to write next for my WIP revision, because those are all like the last scenes, and a lot of them I do have written. Like, I keep saying this, but I do have them written, so they will be just rewritten and expanded, hopefully. I still hope that once I get to a certain point I can take some words out, because my book is too long right now. It is too long. It just the fact that I'm so close to like 700 pages now in this book, and I'm just yes. Anyway, I had a good week. It was rough starting, and it was pretty rough going like the entire week through. Like, my mood wasn't great. We were having those earthquakes, and maybe that was affecting me. I don't know. But overall, like, it looks like I did quite a bit of work, so I am happy with that. And we are going into week 2. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. All right, so this was it. This was my vlog, my wrap up for week 1. Let me know if you guys are participating in camp, how your week 1 has been going so far. Hopefully better than mine. Hopefully you've been feeling better than I have been feeling. Let me know what you guys are working on and how your goals are going, and if you have any plans for week 2 to do anything different, like I'm trying to start something different next week. Let me know that too. Okay, all right, that's it. You know me. That's it. So give this video a like if you liked it, and comment down below. Let me know whatever you're doing, whatever you got going on, whatever your plans are. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you all in my next video. Bye.